And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 6 and 7 for the Monaco and Montreal Canadian Grand Prix. We're going to simulate one of the races today, the Monaco GP, because every time we've been around this circuit, it's just never gone to plan. So I don't see the point of wasting time, as you guys will know. What we're going to do, we're just literally going to do the track acclimatization. That's probably going to be it, okay? And then we'll just literally head off into the simulation. We'll simulate the race and the qualifying, unfortunately. I know it's not something I like doing. I really, really hate doing it because, obviously, I want this to be, you know, the best possible career mode possible. You know, so, obviously, as you can imagine, frustrates me to do this, but obviously we'll do it anyway. So we'll basically just head into qualifying. We'll do, as I say, one practice program just to get some resource points. Then we'll skip to qualifying, sim qualifying, skip to race, sim the race, job done. Bob's your uncle. And we'll just see what we would have got. Well, we wouldn't have got it, but you know what I mean. We'll see what the AI thinks we could have got. You know, around, what circuit was it? I think it was, Baku. We got, I believe it was a fairly decent, alright P8. You know, don't get me wrong, the reason why, I don't know why street circuits on this game suit the AI so much. Like, I've never had a good race on a street circuit in this game, as of yet. Maybe I've had one, to tell a lie, but it was a very odd one. It wasn't, you know, like, it wasn't like at any one stage you could have gone, yes, I deserved that. Or I did well. It was a very odd one. But anyway, we're just doing some practice program, getting the points on the board. Just for the sake of getting points on board. So, underneath the tunnel. By the way, less than now a week till the new Formula 1 season kicks off, technically, because it all starts next Friday with FP1 and FP2 all starting next week Friday, so I cannot wait. New Formula 1 season. I've already seen some of the new cars personally myself, you know, and you know, as I say, I don't want to make a too early prediction at this stage, because I always say,
that's looking good. Now let's try for purple.
Just what you see in practice ain't necessarily a reflection, if you know what I mean. But as I would also agree, Ferrari do certainly look strong at this point in the running. So if you were to do a bet, I'd say either bet on Vettel or Leclerc at the moment. But we also know what Hamilton can do, because in all fairness, Hamilton can make the difference. I honestly believe he's just one of them drivers that, a bit like Vettel, I think, even no matter what car you will give him, he can make the difference. Right, so that's practice done then. So we'll just skip now the practice session. We'll just sim it, then we'll sim the race, and then we'll just see what goes on. That's if it is possible to sim the qualifying. I'm not sure, because I've never done it. I've never seen it, so I presume it is. But you know, I really don't like doing it. But simming the race or the qualifying, if you know, if I can avoid it, I will one day avoid it. But on this game, the controller, for whatever reason, is not good. when it comes to qualifying or driving around street circuits. For whatever reason, it just feels like, I don't want to say you have no grip, but it feels awkward. It feels just funny, like you got maybe too much grip. I don't know. I just can't put it into context what it feels like. It's a very, very odd one, but yeah, you know, it's not a nice one either, because in all honesty, I would like to, you know, do a race around Monaco and do well. You know, trust me, if we were starting from pole position, I think we could do fabulous, but, you know, elsewhere, unfortunately, no. Right, we'll now see what happens. Where do you think we finish? Top 10? Doubt it. I'd be say we're lucky to finish top 10. And I'm correct, 12th. So my teammate finished 6th. So in all honesty, what's that? 8 points. So he opens up basically what he had going into Spain. So yeah, that's all right. Can't be too disheartened by that. You know, obviously not good. You know, don't get me wrong. It's damage limitation. That was really. So there we go. Right. Now onto the more serious round. Round number 7, of course. The round that you came to see today, of course. So, obviously, Montreal, Canada. What can I tell you about the circuit? High speed, of course, heavy braking zones, especially the last chicane, probably most notably the most heaviest of braking zones. Also the hairpin, famous for Robert Kubica's crash back in 2000. I think it was 7, okay, if I'm rightly remembered. 2007, because I'm pretty sure race later Vettel replaced him. That's how Vettel made his debut at the USA Grand Prix, of course. So, you know, quite a famous circuit. Lewis Hamilton likes it. I don't think Vettel hates it, even though he doesn't have much success here. But, of course, nonetheless, what can I say? You know, so let's see what goes on. And let's hope we'll get a decent result. So already got a little bit of rain at the moment, which ain't a necessarily good way to start the weekend, but we will go out in it regardless, because, you know, the rain, in all honesty, I think it's good to get some wet weather practice. I don't know about you, you know. Already spinning. So yeah, one of the wettest certainly Canada's I've seen. I remember the 2011 Grand Prix. Oh mate, that was a brilliant Grand Prix around here. I think it took 4 or 5 hours for the race to be completed or something like that. It was insane. You know, on the day though, Jenson Button won it, just about. But actually, you know what, in all fairness, whatever side of, you know, the picture you're on, I think there are races that do stand out for every single driver. Like for instance, for me, 2011 GP, that must be easily Jenson Button's best race win. Easily. For me, Lewis Hamilton's best race win has to be, I can't actually say. If we look at it from maybe a McLaren point of view, I don't know. I don't think he had many great wins when I can think of it. Maybe Austin, Texas, 2012? Would that be a worthy mention? You know? Anywhere else? See, I just can't really think of many. That would actually sooner click to mind. You know, that would say that was a great race win for Lewis Hamilton in the McLaren, you know. But for him at Mercedes, his current team, obviously, I would have to go for probably either Bahrain 2014, that was an awesome race win. All race long fighting with his teammate Nico Rosberg. Or, you know, I'd have to say the other one, for probably domination, probably Italy 2017. I've never seen a driver like Hamilton in that much perfection, because he was making it look easy. Like in the wet weather on the Saturday, he got the job done. On the Sunday, he got the job done. He wasn't troubled, and that what makes it such a good race win, I think, for him, especially on that day. Like, there were also others, maybe Britain 20, I think it was 15. That was a good race win for Hamilton, getting the weather absolutely spot on. You know, for Nico Rosberg, I don't know, there were certainly some good moments again for him as well. But for the drivers that have really, really earned their day, for instance, right, I can think, oh, right, don't get me wrong, okay, this may be biased, but I think everyone could agree, right, Italy 2008 for Vettel, brilliant race. Il Toro Rosso wins the race, hands down. For me, that just shows his skill already at such a young age. China 2009. First race, well, not first race, but I think it was his third race for Red Bull. Another win, and in wet conditions as well. So
This is the last lap of the program. Final lap
for me, you know, there are just moments, you know. Okay, yeah, for sure, some of Vettel's wins have been domination, but let's be honest, at the same time, them domination wins have been also very, very good as well, and same with Lewis. You know, it's these drivers that get the top prizes. Like, because when everyone talks about Fernando Alonso, there are one or two drivers that obviously I think do stand out in people's minds. But for me, is he a top driver? That's the question. For me, he's certainly a good driver, but is he worthy of that 4th World Championship, or maybe even a 5th World Championship? Like, people call him the driver that could have been a 4-time champion. But I don't know. I wouldn't like to say yes, I wouldn't like to say no.
Heavy rain to stay a while. Doesn't look like it's moving anytime soon.
Balls.
Right. Engine off. Engine off. Program complete and a job well done. We got some excellent data with.
Alright, we'll go back to the garage. We'll do, well, we won't do anything. If it's going to stay wet for the entire session, we'll just skip to qualifying. We'll just have a look. Is it going to be wet the entire session? Yes, it is. Alright, so we'll just skip to qualifying because I don't want to waste time. Overall, where did we finish?
Who are Bottas, Alonso,
19th. But then, obviously, track conditions that will have to play a part as well. We went out early, they went out later, so they would have maybe a more dry track, potentially. So, you know.
Great work out there today. How do you think it went? Do you have any comments about this team? Are you hoping things clear up before qualifying?
Right.
You left some body work out there on the track. Were you struggling for grip?
I should have said
Appreciate your time.
fucking no comment, shouldn't I? To that, oh well. Right, anyway, we'll get into the race then. Well, the qualifying, sorry. And then we'll get into the race. For what is then the Canadian Grand Prix. Last year, this one was a mixed one, I think, personally. I remember it being a bit, how can you put it? I remember it in two ways. Qualifying was okay, wasn't bad, but the race was not the greatest, should I say. So yeah, for me it was, well, it wasn't the worst either. So for me it was a bit of an odd one, if you know what I mean. So yeah, but our Mercedes reputation has gone downhill in recent times. We are literally unwelcome at our team now, for whatever reason. I don't think I've done that bad. We're 38 points behind our championship leader, our teammate.
Checks complete.
Is that bad?
Personnel be aware.
Like, okay, yeah, it's only 7 rounds, but let's be honest, if 2 of them rounds went better, maybe even 3, we could easily be, what, less than 10 points behind. So, in my opinion, we've done well. I'm not going to let my team, who are certainly trying to get a message through, we are coming with number 2, I'm not going to let that affect me. Because I know we could easily be in a different position. If it wasn't for the DRS failure, if it wasn't for also the safety car in China, that's 2 potential race wins. Spain, if it wasn't for, I think, qualifying or whatever. But I do understand where my team is coming from. We should have at least still won at least one of them 3 opportunities. Hopefully though, here we can make redemption. Right. Through turn 1. Through turn 2. Open up for... Did I say that hairpin was turn 2? I did, didn't I? What a effort that is. Anyway, into the last chicane. So...
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Right now we're 3rd. So we'll return to the garage. Don't think that's going to be the best. Alright, just got to answer this call quickly. Don't worry, I'm not going to go anywhere.
So far, our fastest lap is a 1:8.9. We're lower in the running order than we thought we'd be. We need to find some time.
Rightio, so, obviously, you know, we're now just hopefully going to accelerate time forward a little bit low in the running order right now. I didn't put on a setup, could that be the reason why? I'm going to try and take a bit wing off the car, maybe run three wings, certainly give us a bit of rear stability. Where's my teammate? Second. Oh wow, that's bad. What's my teammate done? A 107. Wow, that's quick. Alright,
Standing by.
second lap then. Hopefully this lap will be a much better improvement. Yeah. Now as I say, this is a circuit that I don't know, it's an odd one. Sort of doesn't suit me. Even though in theory it should love me. Sort of impeding the Renault. Alright. Five-place grid penalty for what? Alright, we'll get out well out of the way. I presume Ricardo's on our outlap. I'm gonna follow Ricardo so we get a lovely slipstream. Please, Ricardo, do what you do best and lead the way round. through first corner. Woohoo! Absolutely flying through there. Half a second up on our Delta. We're 7/10 up on the Delta. It's good enough for, I think, P10. So, yeah, I'll take that. You know, better than last year.
All set then for the race tomorrow.
But
before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top
wow,
three, who are
the top 10, in fact, okay, the top 11 separated by just under 1 second. Just under, in fact, 8/10. So about 3/4 of a second separating 11th and 1st. That's interesting. That really is interesting. To mean that what that means is if we were actually another 3/10 quicker, we could have been 3rd, or we could have been 2nd realistically. That is very, very interesting indeed. Like, to think that you're that close to the car in front. You know, it's margins. You know, like that. You know,
bad luck in qualifying.
Certainly, you know, don't really hurt, but it's just margins like that are sort of interesting, because obviously you can sort of think, if I got maybe one corner a bit more better, a bit more accurate, then obviously I would have been this starting here rather than here, and that's you know, obviously where it becomes a bit frustrating. But yeah, you know, nonetheless, right, we'll crack on then with this race. And remember, the top 10 separated by half a second practically. So meaning, could that mean any one of us could win the race? Regardless whether you're 1st or 10th. I have my doubts, but nonetheless, in terms of pace, you never know. Obviously we've had better races here at Canada, but nonetheless, can't be too disappointed. Best grid slot from here was actually 7th, to let you know. By the way, Man United, congratulations on getting through to the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League. I must say, a very impressive 3-1 win over Paris Saint-Germain. I respect both teams. Obviously, none of them are my favourite teams. Chelsea is my favourite, by the way. But I respect both teams. Man United's history is, how can you put it, the best of any given club. In fact, it's better than the majority of countries when it comes to football. Which makes, obviously, United one of the greatest, and Paris Saint-Germain one of the old but new future teams in a way coming up, because yes, they're old, but they're also quite new when you think of it. Like, relatively new. Like, they're not as famous as what maybe Chelsea, well, maybe not Chelsea, but certainly United are. But nonetheless, Mepe, of course, I think it's Mepe. Brilliant player, but unfortunately he won't get to lift UEFA Champions League glory this year. But nonetheless, we're not here to talk about football. We're here to talk about Formula 1. 5 red lights. It's lights out and away we go for the Canadian Grand Prix. It's been an alright start by Pierre Gasly, who pushes us to the left-hand side. We're on the grass going into turn 1 due to Pierre Gasly, Perez and Raikkonen, but mainly Pierre Gasly and Perez just pushing us to one side. Ericsson goes down my inside like an absolute peanut. But yeah, what a start. And again, I'm getting caught up in all the lap 1 chaos. I hate it. It's so annoying for me because obviously I don't know what I've done to deserve such bad luck at the start of races. Honestly. Whilst my luck continues to go from bad to worse, my teammate's luck, well, that's on a different level. He is obviously making men's meat to obviously win this race. Hopefully his car breaks down. I don't wish anything nasty on him, but I certainly do today. Because it's not been funny for him right now. It's no one is there to challenge him, and it's taken all the fun out of this game. Still lap 2 as we push on further into this race, obviously trying to hopefully get a result that will be worthwhile. Tapping wall. Balls. Back down into 12th, back up into 11th. Right now, we've got nothing. And again, been overtaken by Ericsson. Alonso doing a fastest lap right now.
Race officials have enabled DRS. DRS is now available.
Right. Time to make some maneuvers. Time to really start getting my car into gear, should I say. No more messing about.
Okay, we're monitoring somewhere on the ICE. Be aware that we will start to see a loss of power.
Here we go on Pierre Gasly, number 1 of the day. Sorry for that small corner cut. We did sort of slow down the car, so don't worry.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the ultra softs.
Come on, Raikkonen, you got to give the space! Come on! I was more than entitled to go down his inside. More than entitled. And look how much space he gives me. No space whatsoever. I'm having to cut the corner to avoid a collision. How fucking pathetic is that? Sorry about my language. I really do apologise, but honestly,
Okay, clear.
we've got to leave a space. Got to leave a space. I really can't imagine what it's like for a driver in real life Formula 1 who does that. Like, You got to leave a space for your opponent to at least, you know, have a fair opportunity. Unless the driver had more than enough car in the scenario.
Nice move. Good job.
More than enough. And literally doesn't even leave me any room to race. Alright, next up anyway, let's put that behind us. Next up is Perez and Hulkenberg. Absolutely crisp off the corner. Right. Oh dear. Understeered into the barrier a little bit. That's my fault. So I won't blame something that's my fault on someone else.
Engine is looking a little warm. Power output will be less than optimal.
But, oh come on! What's wrong with these idiots today? Sorry about this, guys, but honestly, that's how you do it, Perez. Drive through the corner. Don't just park your car on the apex. Literally. Driving like nutters they are.
Push now. We're boxing this lap.
Why is he braking at 100 meters? Look how early he brakes. The normal braking zone is here. Just after that, literally there. He brakes now. Literally 100 meters. And I'm not expecting that. He's brake checking me effectively. Even though the normal braking zone is just literally 50 meters down the line. What idiots am I driving with today? And watch, now I pick up a penalty for that. It's pathetic. So braking at 100 meters now. Oh, these AI today, bit annoying. Every time the cars have got faster, the AI have sort of become more clumsy, I've noticed.
Okay, focus. We need to stay on form.
I'm on form, boss.
Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach, and make sure you don't speed.
Oh my days! You're having a laugh, aren't you? See, don't get me wrong, what pisses me off about that is literally, it's either go into the back of him, have a broken front wing, or do that. There we go, that's better. Because obviously that's pit lane entrance. Oh. It's really, really annoying, this race. For multiple reasons, and don't get me wrong, some of them, yeah, okay, fine.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race
But
on this compound.
majority of them, no. Alright. Let's get this race over and done with, shall we?
Valtteri is in the pits.
Ooh. That was a bit horrible.
Right, the car ahead has come in to put on the ultra soft tyre. Car ahead is now running ultra softs.
Good for Vettel. But guess what? We're also on ultras.
Caution, caution. Green flag, green flag. We're racing again.
Leclerc's out of a race. There you go. Vettel. Woohoo! Yes. Get in there. Next up is P4. Next up is Daniel
Expecting
Ricciardo.
rain in around 10 to 15 minutes.
Come on. Can still bring home a 1-2 for the team here. That would be a great turnaround, especially as I've driven so nice in this second half of the race so far. Really enjoying these ultras. No! As I was speaking. Why does this game have to be so cruel to me? Alright, builds up your hope, and then it knocks it down. Well, as you can tell, I'm just using flashbacks today for the fun of it. Now. Because in a way, I know this is not my strongest track. If you know where I'm coming from. So that's one reason.
Battery charge is high. Let's increase ERS deployment to up the pace. Okay, gap is 1.9 seconds.
I just want to hear, for once on my radio, Valtteri Bottas has a problem. I know that's mean, but he's just having a bulletproof season. Even if it did mean Alonso would lead the championship or Verstappen, I really don't care. But what I do care about is how bulletproof my teammates been this season. Because if we finish where we are now, I'm going to be a further 13 points without a race win behind my teammate. Haven't only beaten him at the Spanish Grand Prix, and even then only outscored him by what, less than 10 points? Point is, like, okay, yeah, he's doing well, credit where it's due, but right now my teammate is uncatchable. Just having an unbelievable season he is. Pulling our new fastest lap, I am.
We're at +1 lap of extra fuel. Fuel target +1. Gap to car in front is 1.5 seconds.
Big question is this championship over? After 7 rounds. Second part of the race has been good. I'll say that. We've had the pace
We have 5 laps
in the second
remaining.
part of the race. But, and here's the but, just not good enough. irrespective of outcome. Two laps to go. Verstappen starting to pull out our lead as we are now going to go maximum attack till the end of the Grand Prix.
You are derating. Lower the ERS deployment mode before you hit your deployment limit. The gap behind us is 3.6 seconds.
What did it say? On what? I'm derating. What does that mean? Doesn't that mean where the power is unpredictably coming out? It does, doesn't it? You're having a fucking laugh. Honestly.
In just over 10 minutes time. Rain in 10 minutes.
You're absolutely having a laugh. Oh, that's annoying. Alright, let's try and still catch Verstappen.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Forget the D-rate.
This is your final lap of the race.
See, if I failed to get this podium, I'm not going to say it was 100% the car's fault, but you have to admit, that's another mechanical problem. Literally, that D-rate is actually, I think it's giving a few discharges of extra power in places I don't need it. Yeah, literally. My rear wheels keep on spinning when I'm not. It's deploying power when I don't even need it. D-rating, at least I know what a D-rate is now. You can literally feel, like, through it, you can just feel the wheels spinning up. So Valtteri Bottas wins today's race. We will come home fourth with fastest lap.
You did really well. Super driving.
But the big question is, if it wasn't for that D-rate, would we have got third towards the end then? I've never even had that in this game before. It feels so weird when you're driving with D-rating car. But the thing is, would we have got Max Verstappen in third? I just don't know. All I can say, and I will say it, if it wasn't for the D-rate, that's another mechanical issue. There's been too many mechanical issues on my car this season, and that's annoying me. I can understand why Lewis Hamilton must have felt back in 2016 now.
The fans really seem to enjoy
'Cause
that. You made it
I've had the
easy.
DRS failure, I've had the D
You were
rate
cutting
now,
your way
and I've had the
during the
safety
race.
car. Oh. I just, can't really say
It was more
anything.
like Dodgems than Formula 1 today, wasn't it?
Like, honestly.
Well, thanks anyway.
I've literally can't frustrate how frustrating that is. Because, don't get me wrong, I understand things do happen, of course, but they're happening too much to my car. So many technical problems, DRS failure. And in fact, it wasn't just this season, it was also last season. Had a DRS failure at Monza, for crying out loud. So, it just shows, like, yeah, it's costing me. If we had a better, maybe not a better car, but a more reliable car, we would easily be winning. So,
I've been in touch with some contacts at Ferrari,
like,
and they think your attitude
it's annoying.
results might be a good fit for their team. We can talk to them at our next contract review if you're interested. Let's see what kind of offer they can put on the table.
Right, I guess good news we can get a new engine. Right, anyway, next time will be round 8. Has the championship been lost? That's the question. I think... Right, I'm just going to say it. If we don't win in France, or get a result that outscores Valtteri by at least 7 points minimum, I think championship's over. I honestly do. I think Valtteri will have too much of an advantage. If we do not outscore Valtteri by probably 7 points, I'm going to say, Valtteri will have too much of an advantage and we will not be able to catch. He's already 51 points ahead of me this stage this season. I'll just tell you, give it a comparison to last season.
We had the new parts come through from the factory.
Okay, before we make any prejudgment, okay?
I've been in touch with some contacts at Ferrari, and they think your attitude and results might be a good fit for their
We'll
team.
just see. Okay, let's
let's
understand first the situation.
What kind of offer they can
Okay,
put
so
on the table.
right now we are 51 points behind our teammate. Okay, this point last season though, and we got 85 points. Okay, 3 podiums, 85 points. Last season, okay, so we finished 3rd. Okay, so we got 18 plus, I think it's 6 plus 25 plus 6 plus 8. So last season we had 63 points. And I think last season, let's have a look. So 63, we'll bear that in mind. So championship winner was Ricciardo. 12 plus 10 plus 25 plus 25 plus 25 equals 97 plus 15. Take 63. We were 49 points behind. So this stage last season, okay, we were 49 points behind championship leader with less points. This stage this season we're 51 points behind championship leader. Is that too much of a gap to pull back? Personally, I don't want to say yes just yet. We are 51 points behind. Last season I think we got the gap back down to I think we got it back down to I think we got it back down to like 15 or something. It was pretty decent. We got it down to a certainly tiny amount. But, then again, we were up against Red Bull. We're up against our teammate here, who's been on tremendous form, hasn't ever failed to score points once this season. So, for me it's pretty clear. Like, right now, also Ricciardo's doing good. Like, he's 10 points above us. So, we've also got then the Red Bulls, so we really do have to make progress, otherwise this season's over. If we don't win France, Austria and Britain, and I think Germany, if we can win them 4, we're back in the championship. If we can't win them 4, I think, if we can't win 4 of the next 5, which we did last season, therefore I think we're out. Right, see you all next time for round number 7, obviously, with 7 days to go to the new Formula 1 season. 8, sorry, with 8 days to go, you know, I'm not even going to say it. But yeah, see you all next time for round number 8, the French Grand Prix. Bonjour, ça va, merci, au revoir.